Hey, yoga mamas and friends. Today I wanted to share a bit about kind of sensing the energy of poses and yoga pose sequences. So, a lot of times it's easy to get caught up on what the shape of the pose is or where my arm's supposed to be, how am I supposed to move from one pose to another. And that's all part of it. But what makes it really yoga is not just that and not just adding a conscious breath, but really sensing into how is the energy in my body moving with this pose? How is it moving or expanding or contracting with a transition from one pose to the other? Um, so maybe it sounds woo woo. I always feel like when I use the word energy, it um, it can sound very like ooh new agey. What's energy? I mean, it's energy. It's simple. It's actually really simple stuff. So even on the most basic level, if you're just sitting and you're taking a pause to consciously breathe in and out, and I'm just going to exaggerate with my arms as you inhale, your energy would expand, and as you exhale, it contracts. So it's really basic, and you can even just feel that with one hand on your heart and one on your belly, and just inhale and feel your hands move out as your torso expands, and exhale and feel that contraction. All right. So I wrote a post today for my Urban Yoga Mama Substack newsletter, and it's about autumn energy, like the fall energy. And in past years, I've written a lot about the feeling of that energy descending and getting in touch with downward energy as a way to connect to the energy of autumn. And it really struck me that sometimes we need the opposite. Like sometimes during the autumn and the winter too, there's too much downward energy. We feel dragged down. So, how can we counter that and bring a lift to our bodies and minds through movement and breathing and just sensing into that energy of the pose? So, it's going to be simple. I'm going to show simple poses, simple movements because I want it to be accessible. I want this to be something you could do even without putting your yoga mat down or even without putting on your yoga pants. So the first one is going from seated to standing. And that might be from a chair. It's actually a kid's chair, but I'm small, so it can work. Or from yoga blocks or another prop, or just from the ground. So I'm going to show it those three ways. You're sitting. Take that time to feel that length of your spine. Even that can be a practice in feeling the lifted energy. You're sitting, you get a little tilt forward in your pelvis, and you breathe in, and you feel the top of your head moving up. That's really the core of what we want to feel in all these movements is that simple lift up without actually moving our bodies. And it comes with every inhale. All right, so this is going to be everyday life yoga, meaning functional movement, the movements we do in our everyday practiced as yoga. So really think about what you do when you sit up from a chair. You're sitting and something happens with your arms, right? Like usually we don't just kind of throw ourselves up and reach, like we're reaching for someone to help us up. Lean forward a bit and maybe inhale. Come here's chair pose right here, right? Utkatasana, you can reach up and then, sorry, my head's getting cut off, and just reach up to the sky, get that upward energy. Same thing. Maybe I'm sitting on some blocks. It's almost like a malasana squat, but supported. I reach forward, lean forward a bit, and breathe in. And I might just stay here in Utkatasana, or if I really want to stretch up, I stand up. Oh, all right. The harder one, and they actually did a study, a scientific study, on people standing up from this cross-legged sitting position. And the reason they did this study was they were trying to find a way to measure people's probable longevity. So how long are you going to live? Can you stand up? It was somewhat debunked. So anyways, it's in my newsletter post that's linked to this video. Try it. You're cross-legged or an easy seat. And then again, the arms are really involved here, right? Your legs are pretty rooted. They're grounded. You exhale. And as you inhale, you reach arms forward maybe up, the knees even go up, and you lean forward with your torso, just like we did in the seat. Oh, okay. Same, you want to see it from the side, cross-legged. This seems so basic, right? But try it. Arms go forward, knees go up, push the sides of your feet into the ground, lean forward as you stand up. All right. Oh, and the other part of the test is going back down, right? Anyway, we're talking about upward energy, but that's what they did in this study, and you could read about it. It's linked in my Yoga Mama post. Okay, so another really basic way to raise your energy, not a yoga pose, but I thought about it because I do this a lot in my kids' yoga classes, is jumping. Kids love to jump. A lot of moms hate to jump because ever since having kids, jumping brings on the urinary incontinence. So I'm with you there. Like, this is good though. It's going to help us get in touch with our pelvic floors and kind of see what's going on there. So you get that same, your arms get swinging, right? So you can jump without using your arms. That's fine. But if you really want to jump, you might reach back and jump. And maybe you jump into like a star pose, or you jump straight up. All right, I just touched the ceiling. I'm pretty sure I'm in my basement right now. Jumping is actually very therapeutic. Like, there's not, unless you're doing power yoga, there's not a lot of like cardio and upregulation, in yoga, unless you're doing it on purpose. So jumping is great. All right, what else? You can do another standing wide stance, or kind of like the beginning of Prasarita, right? Wide stance, toes are pointing forward, and maybe you just draw a rainbow overhead and just reach up side to side, and this feels great. Just breathing in, breathing out as you go down. Breathing in as you go up, breathing out as you go down. And this is so uplifting, but in a really grounded way, where your feet are pressing into the ground. You might have a little bend in your knees, and then you just reach up as you inhale and reach down as you exhale. So from side to side, you can also hands on the hips or lower back, a little bend in the knees, and open the chest up. And that's a nice back bend, but while staying very grounded through standing legs. I love that. It's so good. Okay. Here's another thing. Reclined, and you just stretch your legs up. Okay, so it's like Viparita Karani at the wall. You might have done this at the wall before, where you're laying down and you stretch your legs up. So either at the wall, sometimes we do this for core work. Knees can be straight or bent. But if they're bent, I want the soles of your feet to still point at the ceiling. So it's all right to hold the back of your thighs. If you want that support, if you want even more support, just go to the wall. But really sense, like, and you can wiggle your toes and flex your feet a little, and just get that feeling of the soles of your feet, especially your heels, lifting up to the sky. Sometimes it feels good to put hands on your belly. Right, so that's different. We've been lifting up through the top of the head. Here we're lifting up through the soles of the feet, and you could even reach up with the arms. Nice, gentle core work, and giving yourself a sense of lift. Awesome, that's pretty much it. So you can get creative. Obviously, that's just a few different ways you can get a sense of lift in your yoga postures. Again, the inhalation does so much to help you get that sense of lift. And I would just say that as you do these different things, to give yourself a sense of expansive, lifting energy, that you really focus on the inhale. And don't forget about the exhale. The more completely you exhale, the more full your inhale will be. So that's an important component in getting, lifting up your energy through poses, is really full inhales and slow and steady, complete exhales. All right, so I hope that is helpful and refreshing to you. Obviously, this is more of a teaching video and not like a practice with me kind of video. So I hope that you try it on your own at home. And if you want to see it, everything I did in a list, you can go to the Yoga Mama, the Urban Yoga Mama's Substack newsletter post that I'm going to link to in the description of this video. So thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day, and I hope you take a few minutes at least to move your body and breathe. Thanks for watching.